Hello dearest sewist and welcome to my channel. So I attempted making this beautiful dress with a ruffle design and stylish sleeves. I made mine in white. Now if this sounds like something you're interested in, don't forget to subscribe and let's get on with the tutorial.
So guys, for this tutorial I'll be making use of 2 yards of fabric. Now this is known as raindrop and this is what the fabric looks like. Then for the elastic, 1 yard will do. Then I made use of my chalk, my tape rule, my scissors, my ruler and also my thread. So let's get on with the tutorial. Now the first thing I'll just go ahead to do is to open up my fabric. Then I'll go ahead to determine the side that is stretchy and separate it from the side that is not stretchy, especially when you're using a material that one side stretches and the other side doesn't stretch. Now the side that stretches should be where we take all our bust measurement, that's all our horizontal measurement, so it can be fitted to our body, while the side that is not stretchy is going to be where all our vertical measurements will be taken. I hope you understand. I'll go ahead to fold my fabric in 4 so that I can be able to cut my front and back pieces together. Now this dress is not going to have a zipper area at the back because of the nature of the fabric. I'll go ahead to rule a line to serve as my starting line or my shoulder line. So guys, from the shoulder line I'll just be drawing a straight vertical line all the way down, and this is going to serve as my full length. From the shoulder line I'll also go down by 16 inches. Now this is for my half length. From the shoulder line I'll just go ahead to divide my shoulder by 2, and I'll just mark it at that point here. Then I'll just go back down by 1 inch and I'll connect it to the shoulder region to create my shoulder slant. Now from that point I'll be going down by 7 inches, and this is for my armhole measurement. And then I'll just go ahead to replace that 7.5 inches at that point. Now I'll connect it in a straight line to meet the 7.5 that I have as my shoulder region. Now after this I'll just go ahead to take half of that measurement, and that gave me 3.5. I'll just be going in by half an inch, and then I'll just connect this together using my curve. So guys, for my waist I'll be dividing by 4 without adding any stitching allowance, and also for my bust too I'll be dividing by 4 without adding any stitching allowance. And then for my waist I'll just go down by 8 inches. Now divide it by 4 without adding any stitching allowance. Then for my hemline I'll just go ahead to subtract 2 inches from whatever I have and mark it at that region. I will go ahead to use my ruler to connect all the lines together. I'll go ahead to cut this out. Don't forget to leave half an inch allowance at the shoulder area. After cutting guys, this is what I have. Now the next I'll just be going ahead to do is to work on my neck region. So for my neck depth I'll just be going down by 1.5 inch at the back, and then for the front I'll be going down by 3 inches, and then for my shoulder width I have 2.5. You can go ahead to make variations on the neckline depending on what you want. Now the next thing guys, I'll just go ahead to place them both together and join their shoulders together. Now if you know you want to use this method, I'm going to be using a bias, but I will not be using that. Instead I want to use a turn up, so I'll just place it like so, and then I'll just cut it exactly at that point. Now with the help of the first one I will go ahead to fold for the second one, and then I'll just cut it out. Now the only difference is going to be in the neckline, so just go ahead and do what you can see me doing. So guys, after cutting everything out, this is what I have. I'll just go ahead to place them like this, and then I'll sew and stitch the neck and bring it back to show us what I have. So this is what the neck and the shoulder region is looking like after going ahead to join them all together. Now just with the help of my tape I'll go ahead to measure my armhole, and I'll just use this to cut the sleeve. Now the same thing that we did for the body of this dress, whereby we determined where it was the stretchy part from the part that is not stretchy. Now the part that is not stretchy is going to be our sleeve length area, and then the part that is stretchy is going to be like for around sleeve. So I hope you understand that. So after determining this, I'll just go ahead to place my tape and then fold this in 4 because I'm going to be cutting it all together. I'll just be using something to hold the fabric to keep it from moving. Now first of all I'll go ahead to draw a line. This is going to be my starting line, and from that starting line I'll just go down by how long this is going to be. So I took my measurement from my shoulder down to where my knuckles are. So that is how long I want the sleeve of this top to be, and so that gave me 27 inches. And now I'll just be cutting out 28 inches. Like you can see, I'll first of all cut this out to make it easier for me to work with. After trimming everything out, from my shoulder line, I'll just be going down to my wrist region, and this is at 23 inches. And I'll just go ahead to mark it at that point there. Now for my round sleeve at that region, I have about 6.5, but we'll just be measuring 8 inches at that place. Now I'll now go ahead to connect this together. So can you see how curved this is looking? So around that my knuckle ridge, I'll just go ahead to take the measurement around that place, and so that is why that place is looking a bit curved. So guys, this is what I have, and the next I'll just go ahead to do is to join my sleeve to the body of my dress. So guys, at this point I'll go ahead to recreate the ruffle design as you can see at the bottom part of this dress. So guys, the first thing I'll just be going ahead to do is to fold my fabric in a way that be able to achieve, in a way to give me the length and also the width of what I want. So guys, for the length I just have about 20 inches, and that will just be okay for me. So when I fold it into, I'm going to have 10 inches, and then for the width I just multiplied whatever I had at that region there, which was about 15.5 by 2, and sorry, by 2.5, and that gave me how full I want it to be. But I would have wanted this to be fuller, but I did not have enough fabric, so I just went ahead to just cut it just like you can see. And now the next I'll just be going ahead to do is to just stitch both sides close at an end there. So I'm just retaking my measurements. I'll go ahead to stitch both sides closed and show us what it looks like. After stitching this area closed, guys, this is what I have. And now next I'll just be going ahead to do just like you can see me doing. I'll go ahead to open it this way and then place this middle part to the side facing me. And I'll just go ahead to just trim out the excesses that I have at both sides. After trimming both sides off, guys, this is what I have. I'll just go ahead to just flip it just like you can see, and then fold it in the same manner that I'm just folding it. Then I'll go ahead to align those two places that I joined together at the middle. And now from that point, that where I'm pointing, I'll just go ahead to sew this all around, and I'm going to leave a tiny space that I'll be able to use to turn this to the right side. After stitching all areas, guys, I'm leaving a hole to use to turn this to the front. This is what I have, and I'll just be going ahead to pull this out with my hands. So guys, after carefully turning it out, this is what I have. Now the next I'll just go ahead to do is to just close up that open area, and I'll go ahead to re-measure this. So I have about 8 inches, although I have a little bit above 8. So guys, after stitching both areas closed, this is what I have. Now the next thing I'll just be going ahead to do is to work on that ruffle design that we can see at the hem region of this dress. So guys, from the shoulder down to the hem region, I'll just go ahead to take my full length, and that is 36 inches. So by the time I add my ruffle, I should be having 38 inches, because the ruffle is going to be an inch longer than the dress itself. So half of that 8 inches, let me say my ruffle is 8 inches, that is actually 4. So from half of my ruffle place, I'll just go ahead to place it horizontally just like you can see, and I'll go ahead to measure what I have. So I have about 15.5 inches there. So I'll just go ahead to cut out a band that is more than 15 inches long, because I don't really have much fabric. So what I just make sure I can have something longer so I can be able to gather it to create that effect very nicely. So guys, this is what it's looking like. I've gone ahead to iron this very well, and I make sure that the middle point, like where we used to join this together, is actually at the middle. So make sure it's at the middle. You can see I've gone ahead to stitch close that area that we used in turning this to the right side. Now the next we'll just be going ahead to do, remember that we took 15.5 for the measurement around that area, if you can remember. Now that 15.5, we're going to cut it out on our elastic. We're going to be cutting it round, so 15.5 times 2 is going to give me 31 inches. So I need to have 31 inches on my elastic band, and then I'll just go ahead to cut it. So guys, I'll just go ahead to join both sides of the elastic together. Now after joining it, I'll just go ahead to place it and then create gathered look. Like as I'm sewing, I'm drawing my elastic so that it's going to give me that gather-like effect.
So guys, after creating the runched like effect, this is what I have. Can you see how beautiful and neat that this is looking? Now the next I'll just be going ahead to do is to attach this ruffle design to the hem region of my dress. So guys, in order for us to fix this properly and neatly, I'll just go ahead to place my ruffle design on where I had earlier wanted to place it. Remember that I said that the ruffle design is going to complete an inch of the dress, so I'm just going to place it 1 inch lower than the dress. And now, so what I'm basically doing now is just marking out a line, a straight line that I'm going to be sewing on the elastic, because I'm going to be stitching on the elastic now to join this to the dress. I hope you understand. And while stitching, make sure that there is no clothes underneath it. Make sure you're just stitching on the right place so that you will not start losing the clothes. And while stitching, don't draw the elastic, just make sure everything is straight. So guys, after joining this area together, this is what I have. Can you see how neat and beautiful this is looking? The only problem is just that it's going to be falling down if proper care is not taken. So what I'll just be going to do is to use my needle and thread to stitch down that area, but I later decided to use my hand needle to do it. And also I'll just be demonstrating how I'll just go ahead to just cut out that my ankle region at that place to create that hole that you would see. So when you are through, you just put on the dress and make sure that your thumb is at the proper place, and then you cut a tiny circle. This is what my dress looks like. So I'm basically done, and as you can see for the sleeve, I went ahead to cut it at that thumb area, and then also for the lower ruffle part, I went ahead to use my machine to hold up the ruffle, just like you can see. Now if you know you found this tutorial helpful, don't forget to subscribe, like and comment. Thank you all, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.